So with a lifetime of experience as a quad amputee, seasoned Paralympic swimmer, and accessibility designer, Jonathan brings a worldly perspective unmatched, fueled by his desire to trailblaze for future generations and those whose voices aren't heard. He has set out to be the change.
Jonathan thrives to find unique and out-of-the-box solutions to overcome any form of obstacle that stands in the way. Alongside his mission statements of using what you've got and components of you, Jonathan's unique outlook and determination serves as a model. We are all more than one of our characteristics. Welcome, Jonathan.
Well, thank you, Tracy and John. It's glad to be here.
So what's your best organization tool that you use?
So I love to use a lot of like the cloud services. Like I use SharePoint and I use like OneDrive, and having those and having like the different folders and like this folder is for proposals, this folder is for templates, this folder is for this, and then have another folder that I have like Excel sheets all linked inside of. So it's like having all of these different folders all on the cloud services. So it's off my computer. So I can do it whether I'm like on my own computer or on my phone, or if I'm on somebody else's computer, like I can just kind of hop online and go to the cloud service, download what I need or edit what I need online and do it that way. It's just really helpful to use. Yeah.
So you retired from swimming at 19 and then went off to college to receive your bachelor's in architecture with a minor in real estate. Why not stay in that?
So I think one of the biggest things is my whole life's purpose has always been about advocacy. It's been about making that change, breaking that glass ceiling. And so every step of the way that I've gone has been doing that. And so I did that when I worked in architecture. I did that when I was a Paralympic swimmer. And now I'm doing that now as a keynote speaker. And so it's all about opening those doors for future generations and more people to get into certain fields. Like when you said the field of architecture, that they hire people with disabilities to work in these firms. Now that they've seen that I've done it, I've been in a couple different firms, and they see that it's easy to hire somebody with an disability, that they can easily learn the software and be able to excel in that program.
So your mission of the components of you as a major aspect of your business, can you dive deeper into what the background is of that and how that came to be?
Yeah, so one of my things is, so the components of you is this kind of overall theory that I use with my business and have always used. And I like to compare it to like a pot of chili. We all love chili. Up here in Wisconsin, we love our booyah. But I like to take a big pot of whatever you want to call it, and everybody has their spices on their spice rack. And so you have your very generic spices, like your salt and pepper. That's just kind of the very kind of visible stuff that you see. That's like your gender, your religion, your race, that kind of stuff. But then you've got your secret spices. And those are like the components that make up who you are. And all of these different spices on the spice rack get dumped into your big pot of chili. And these are all of the different components that make you unique and make you special and create this individuality of who you are. And love to just kind of teach that to people, that there's so much more than just the diversity of a group of people, but the individual characteristics of the components of you that make you unique in your own way.
Nice. So then what about like the noodles and you got different kinds of meat. Sometimes you put turkey in or hamburger. I mean, that can really like be that's a complex analogy, chili.
Well, and then you look at it, and those kind of things, and those are kind of like those experiences that then settle into your soup and your chili. Is that those are things that the experience that you've had then, become even bigger components of that pot of chili, like you said, like the beans themselves.
They get spicy sometimes.
They can get spicy sometimes. There are days when that pot of chili is oh so spicy, but it's just you roll with the punches, and sometimes it's a little spicier than you want it to be, but that's life.
So since we're talking about chili, I think the important question is bean, no bean.
Ooh, I'm gonna say bean on that one.
Yeah, I'm about beans also.
You're a bean?
How about you?
I used to make a chili, and it was a Texas chili. At least I called it Texas chili. I don't know if it actually was, but I just put the whole cow in there. And so you had just giant chunks of steak in it and no beans, because that seemed like something that they would do in Texas, which I've never been there, so I don't know. I have no clue. I just made this up because I thought it was great.
Because he was a restaurant owner in his previous life.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah. Well, love to Texas chili sometime. That sounds fantastic.
Maybe we should have a Connect Show chili cook-off at the company picnic.
Oh, well, I'm sold.
There we go.
Okay, so reflecting on key moments is a key to your business. So if you could pinpoint a time period in your career that made a huge difference in your life or career path, what would that be and why?
There's been so many different points in my life from career-wise. I think one of the biggest points was when I was a up-and-coming Paralympic swimmer. I was at a swim meet, actually in Texas, ironically, if we're speaking about Texas, in San Antonio for a swim meet. And the head coach, who had passed away recently, Jimmy Flowers, of the resident team, had approached me and said, hey, I see your potential. I see your skills. You know, I would love for you to come train under me at the Olympic and Paralympic Training Center. And so that was such a pivotal moment, that like to have somebody like that believe in me and believe that I could do something successful. And so the opportunity to go train out at the Olympic and Paralympic Training Center then shifted my mindset and even got me into the keynote speaking, because I did a lot of traveling for the Paralympics while I was there, speaking on what the Paralympics were and the importance of advocating for disabled sports. And so that then shifted my career again into keynote speaking and workshop facilitation. So if I hadn't met Jimmy Flowers in San Antonio, I don't know where I would be today. And it's just kind of those key moments that happen in our lives that send us in a direction that we wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Yeah, that is so true about the part about where he saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself.
Yeah.
I was just doing a think tank last night, and we had a quote that just said the same thing, that said, treat people how, I forget how it went, but it was something about treating them about how you think of what they can accomplish in their life, because then they will accomplish it. Like they'll do it, you know?
Wow.
If you treat them as if they could already have done it, they will step up to the plate and do it.
Yeah.
So that's what that guy did for you. That's like it's great when people do that.
Yeah, and and those are the things that it's just these people come into your lives, and you just I think that quote, like I said from last night's discussion, was just so powerful, and like how people can come into your life like that and completely pivot the course of your direction.
But you have to be willing to receive it.
You have to be willing to receive it.
You have to be willing to see it.
And not just brush it off, and not just think, oh, this person's just,
And you got to take the chance, and you've got to, you did all the hard work. That person just recognized your ability, but you actually took the risk and did all the stuff.
True. Yeah, definitely a two-way street with that. Yeah, because you have to recognize it, you have to respect it, and then you have to go after it. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's inspirational for today.
It is. It is very inspirational. So do you have an offer or something that you're doing? How do you work with people, and how can they get in contact with you?
So yeah, you can go onto my website, split-star.com. You can contact me there. I've got my calendar links. I've got my contact information all on there. Companies looking to really put out change in their business. They're looking for inclusive strategies for positive change, to create a healthier environment within their office, within their environment, whether they're expanding and growing, or whether they want to realign their missions, or they want to reestablish what it's like for diversity and inclusion, and to be a more open and accepting environment.
So you do a lot of keynote speaking, but are you dabbling into the course stuff yet, or no?
I've started a little bit. I've definitely started offering some programs for diversity and inclusion, but I also have my kind of headlining keynotes as well that I do for conferences. So if conferences are looking in that regard as well.
That's great.